and the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. There will not be a Super Bowl hangover. Look at that line. You see that? 8.5. It opened at 7.
I know. All the numbers are at 7. It was the bet of the weekend, Philadelphia.
This could be a beatdown. Let's just go to the Diana Rossini believes Jalen Hurts' mentality will be the key to the team's success this year.
Jalen views this season so differently than he has every other year because now that he has the ring, it's a completely different mentality. The pressure's off, right? He's done it now.
Yeah.
So now it almost feeds into the confidence that he's done it. He knows how to do it. He knows how to win in the big moments.
You know my favorite part about Jalen Hurts, and I was talking with somebody, I was gone for about 9-10 days, and I was talking to somebody about 9 or 10 days ago. And they said people would be surprised to know that Jalen's not the most popular player in the locker room, but he may be the most respected. Is that Jalen really goes to the beat to his own drummer. You know, he's got his management team. It's all women. He does his own thing. He's got his own view of it. And I think he's one of those athletes that will be totally unaffected by winning. I think he's got good parents, strong parents. He's got a real strong sense of self. I think Jalen Hurts is one of those unique athletes that the heartbeat doesn't change, win or lose. You get the same guy, and he's not really concerned. They call it inner scoreboard. He's not really concerned what I think of him, the media thinks of him, the fans think of him.
That's good. He's
not necessarily always concerned what his teammates think of him, I've heard. I've said before, at the podium, he's the best I've ever seen. That is a noisy team and a noisy town and a noisy fan base and a noisy media. His personality, you would never know on the Wednesday presser if they won by 30 or lost. You would never know.
So he was at Alabama, thriving, then gets benched. Very humbling. Goes to Oklahoma. What happened? Right back in the playoff column. This guy's, you can't stop him. He's really, I like your point. He tunes out the outside noise.
He does.
Does not give a crap.
He really doesn't. It's the opposite of a guy now that I like, Baker Mayfield. Remember Baker's first 2 years in Cleveland?
That's right.
He heard everything.
Who cares about Baker? We're talking about Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. I got some thoughts. First off, I don't think anyone would be surprised. Like Colin has now said this multiple times today, he clearly just heard this recently that Jalen Hurts isn't the most popular guy in the locker room. Well, because Jalen Hurts is a very reserved, quiet, more laid-back, serious guy. That's he. You know, I always talk about this. You know, you got friends who are a good time, who you want to hang out with, who you'd love to go on a road trip with or go to Disney World with. I always use the Disney World example. Like, you know, you got friends who you would want to go to Disney World with, and you got friends who you would be like, I don't ever want to do that. I would never want to do that. I could think about 10 other people that I would have a lot more fun going to some amusement park with than you. And so when we talk about popularity, right? Like, yeah. Because Colin said in an earlier segment, you know, Saquon Barkley. Yeah, because Saquon Barkley is going to be a lot more outgoing, more sociable, ask you a lot more questions, be more engaged, probably be more goofy, smiling, which is fine. You can have completely different personalities. Not everyone can be Saquon. If everyone is Saquon, then you actually kind of runs in trouble. Same thing if everyone had Jalen Hurts' mentality, you kind of run yourself into some trouble. So it's not like a bad, like we're kind of getting things like twisted in terms of popularity here. Because he is obviously highly respected, and there is a difference there for sure. But I also now disagree with the whole idea of that the pressure is off. This is Philadelphia. The pressure is always there. Always, always, always there. This idea now that the pressure is off for like Jalen Hurtsfield, he knows he won a Super Bowl and all that, but if the Philadelphia Eagles lose in the divisional round, right? It would be like, What the heck happened? What the heck happened? How do you go from rolling the Kansas City Chiefs to not even being able to get back to the NFC Championship? People were talking about, you know, going back to back, and you can't even get to the NFC Championship game again. And then let's say they come up short, and now you have the following year after that. You think like people are still going to care about like, oh, well, he won the Super Bowl a few years ago, a couple years ago. It's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. This isn't the Dallas Cowboys where they're like Dak Prescott threw for lots of yards against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's like, okay, that's good job. It's just not the way it works, man. So there's always pressure. Doug Peterson was fired and he won a Super Bowl there like a few years later. The dude gets fired. There's a statue of him. Jeffrey Lurie is out there writing the foreword to his book, and it's like, see you? Bye. Nick Foles, there's a statue of him. It's like, sorry, bud. Carson Wentz, we're going to pay you $150 million. We're going to draw. We drafted you high up. Like, let's go, baby. Let's go. We hired this other quarterback in the second round. Goodbye. See you at, like, that's the way it works, man. So there is always pressure, always. And if you think this team, if you think the guys that are really trying to do everything they can to win, that there's just this feeling now like, well, we won the Super Bowl last year, it's all good. No. Listen, I think that when you really care about ball, winning a Super Bowl, getting some of that pressure off your back, it can help you sleep at night. It can help you in your darkest times, in your moments of failure. Okay, I do believe that. But this idea now that the pressure is off, go watch that Jason Kelce documentary. He had already won a Super Bowl, and he was devastated when he lost that following Super Bowl. That's what motivated him to now come back in 23, because he was just like, I can't end. Like, I can't. He was devastated, absolutely devastated. He already won a Super Bowl. He already proved he could win a ring. Pressure is off. It's like, no, the pressure is never off. And Kelce in that 23 just gave it. I mean, he was gas. He had nothing left in the tank. He was just trying to do everything he could to try his best to try to get that team back, and they obviously couldn't. And it was like, so no. Are there some players that are probably like, it's all good. I got my ring. Sure. Is that the foundation? Is that the core of this team? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, A.J. Brown said that. People tried to twist that and be like, oh, see, he's just about the number. And it's like, no, he's literally saying just winning the ring is not enough. It doesn't consume him enough. He wants more. He wants to keep going. He wants to grind it out. He wants to keep going and going and going. And that's the same thing with Jalen Hurts. That's why Jalen Hurts met up with like MJ and Peyton Manning and whatever. He's been on a whole tour of talking to the greats of like, how do I keep doing this? There's no pressure is off. Did MJ feel that the pressure was off after the first repeat? No. He's like, I want more. And then you feel that pressure to do more and more and more. Listen, it's not the right way to be happy. That's for sure. You sacrifice happiness. But like, that's what it is. So, can it help you sleep at night a little bit? For sure. Absolutely. If you never win another ring again and you're 55 years old and you're looking back on your career, yeah, it really is nice. It takes the pressure off the feeling of like, all right, I did accomplish that, but this year, no. In fact, I believe that there's probably a tremendous amount of angst to do it again. Harry Roseman said it best, actually, when he won the second ring. He said the first ring, you can kind of say, like, maybe that's a fluke, right? The second ring, when you win again, it's like, now we got a pattern here. It's like you're showing that you're doing something that's leading to your success. Anyone can kind of get lucky at the end of the day, right? You just can. But to get repeatedly lucky, that typically means there's skill involved. And so, obviously High Roseman didn't say it exactly that way, but that's what he essentially said. He was just like, the second ring means a tremendous amount to him because it's showing that you can do it multiple times. So I get in a vacuum, the pressure's off because you don't feel maybe as crushed as much of like, gotta win a ring, gotta win a ring, got to win a ring, got to win a ring. Like, I get that. And that is obviously going to be a thing. And now Jalen won't necessarily be haunted of that 22nd Super Bowl like he was having it on his wallpaper and all of that. But in terms of like the pressure to compete, to be great, to keep winning, to get back there, man, that is still there. That is still there. And we are in the golden era of, if you're a quarterback, the name of the game is to just win as many rings as possible. That's what Tom Brady did. That's what Patrick Mahomes continued, that mantle of winning all of his rings so early on in his career. Is like, if you want to be great, you got to win. Ring, 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 ring. So, believe me, Jalen Hurts probably feels the pressure to be like, I got to win 3. I got to get 3 wings here, man. I got to do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And he's not dumb. He knows how great this team is. He knows all the peace that he has around him. He's been in Philly now for a minute or 2. So, is Sirianni, they know if you win, it's great. If you don't, yikes. Yikes. Not many people were defending them in 23, and they just got to the Super Bowl. They won the NFC. Jalen Hurts was a Super Bowl. An MVP candidate for, I guess technically both the Super Bowl and the regular season. And in 23, when things weren't looking too great, people were like, it's okay, guys. It's okay. It was like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And then in 24, when people weren't happy in the beginning of the season, it was like, what's going on? They were like, well, 22. Like, nope, don't want to hear it. So pressure might be off, but the heat is still up there. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles? Do you believe that the pressure is off now that Jalen Hurts has a ring? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.